Welcome, everybody. This is Phil Metra. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer here for Franchise Growth Systems. Today we're talking about a wonderful brand called BizCard Xpress. They've been having some phenomenal growth since April, and this brand is really moving forward in a very big way. With us today, we're going to talk with Lee Papadias, who's the founder of BizCard Xpress. And he's going to walk us through this wonderful opportunity that everyone should take a very hard look at. So, Lee, without further ado, let's turn it over to you.
Thank you, Phil, and hello, everyone. My name is Lee Papadias, founder of BizCard Xpress, an exciting new franchise with a 27-year history. I'm a college graduate, Vietnam veteran, and former vice president of Audiovox Corporation in New York. So I've been on both sides of the desk, and I'm here to forecast the future of the next generation in retail business. I have personally proven this business model over the years, and most recently during the worst recession in our history, unfortunately terminating competitors along the way, and have never gone out on a sales call or solicited business over the phone. BizCard Xpress is a combination of printing, signs, and business services, the perfect model for the next generation of retail. It's local because people want to deal face-to-face, especially when it's inexpensive, easy, and fast. But more important, as our name implies, the business card is the common denominator needed by every business on earth. Printing, signs, when customers enter our stores, they become instantly aware of our capabilities. Our brightly lit decor features the word wall, outlining our many services, thereby automating the suggestive selling process, getting a positive customer response with no pushy sales pitch. We can do everything from a simple real estate sign to tractor-trailer graphics. The best part is that no prior experience is necessary to learn and master our system. We completely and continually guide you from start to finish with unlimited support. Every business needs a sign. Pride of ownership and common sense dictate that store owners must advertise their business in order to succeed. When we do an installation, more times than not, neighboring businesses want to upgrade or change their own existing signage, consequently generating more customers for your own business. And I hate to sound redundant, but every business needs what we provide. We also offer promotional items, decals, stickers, over 800,000 promotional and advertising specialty items, generating a substantial profit for no more work than writing the sales order. It's simplicity in its purest form. We can provide everything from pens, keychains, flashlights to balloons, stickers, decals, just about anything else you've ever seen with a company logo emblazoned on it. Our society is geared to instant gratification. We don't want to wait for anything. Our expectations are for quick fix. Lose weight with a pill, video on demand. We don't even wait for TV programs anymore. The BizCard Xpress business model is structured for today's desires, not yesterday's methods, and is a giant step ahead of our industry. The perfect example of sustainability in any economy. I'd like to turn this over now to our brand manager, Kim Marinoff.
Thank you, Lee. I appreciate that, and I'm just absolutely thrilled to be part of this brand. To offer same-day signs and printing, business cards in 1 hour or less. This is just an absolutely phenomenal opportunity. Lee, in my opinion, is just a true visionary. I've heard him call this the instant coffee of the new millennium, and I truly believe that's what this is. This is going to revolutionize the sign and printing industry. It is off the charts. I can't wait to go into some of the benefits of this model, but before I do that, just briefly a little bit about my background. I've been in franchising for 14 years, actually on both sides of franchising. I have a strong corporate background in operations, sales development, and training, and I've also owned 6 of my own franchises. So Having been on both sides of that coin, I actually went into franchise consulting, and I help people get involved in different franchise opportunities. Now, I joined forces here with BizCard Xpress, and it is just truly off the charts, one of the best business models, franchise models that I've ever seen. You know, when I work with, if you could zoom in there, Phil, when I work with my clients, you know, one of the questions I ask them is, what is it that you're looking for in a business? What are the things about a business that are important to you? And over the years, after, you know, working with a lot of different people, I've put together a list of things that I think make up a perfect franchise. And I want to touch on some of those with you today because, in my opinion, BizCard Xpress actually fulfills every single component of what my clients have told me over the years is a perfect franchise. You know, this is a truly a turnkey operation. You know, everything is included with this package, everything from the lettered van to $40,000 worth of saleable inventory, all the equipment and the supplies, everything that you basically need is literally ordered, you know, at one time, delivered to your door, and you can open up and get ready to go. This is, you know, one of the most important things that people, you know, getting into business on their own is they want to know how much money they're going to make. And, you know, we're governed by the Federal Trade Commission, so we can't, you know, speak to those terms outside of what's in our franchise disclosure document, which would be happy, you know, to disclose anybody that appears to be financially qualified to do this business. But it is truly a tremendous profit potential. The margins are phenomenal. So there's lots of room in here. It is a recession-proof business. I went down to Florida being brand manager. I've been attending discovery days and talking with the managers and the owners, and I've been to every store, actually except one. There's a store down further south in Miami that I haven't gotten to. But the stores that I have visited in Florida, when I've, you know, spoken to these managers and owners and, you know, questioned them, you know, in depth about the model, the responses that I'm getting are just overwhelming. One question that I've asked is, you know, if there was something that you would change about the model or something that you would do differently here, what would it be? Because here I am, I'm trying to poke holes in this from every angle. You know, being a brand manager, I'm going to be handling the sales process, and I'm going to be asked a lot of questions along the way. And I want to try to, you know, unturn every stone and really fully understand this. And when the managers and the owners in all of these stores come back and say, we wouldn't change a thing about the model, I've never heard that before. Usually, you know, especially if it's not even an owner, but even a manager, there's something about the business that they would change or do differently. This is an absolutely brilliant model. It has, it's time tested. Lee's been putting this together for you know, since the mid-1980s, and has, you know, this is not something that's kind of just thrown together. They've been franchising for about 3 years, but only now have they, you know, actively been trying to sell. The people that are involved in it are actually customers who have come into the stores and said, oh my gosh, this is so cool, I want to be part of this, and what does it take to get involved in one of these things. They have grown on the northeast coast of Florida. Some of the hardest hit towns in the recession that we've seen, you know, some of the highest unemployment rates. These stores have grown literally month over month, year over year. Sales have been increasing, and to grow in those dire circumstances where the economy has just, these towns have just been hit so hard, it speaks to the model being recession-proof, and not only recession-proof, but actually, you know, exploding during a very hard time. Lee mentioned to you, this is a service that every business needs. Every small business needs to market and advertise their business, and we'll go into some of those services. Lee mentioned a word wall. I mean, we do things like banners, yard signs, car magnets, menus, flyers, brochures, vehicle lettering, promotional items, anything and everything that a small business needs to market or advertise. This is the one-stop shop. The other true benefit to this business is it's a cash and carry business. So you're not carrying accounts receivables. That can be a nightmare and a big headache in a business. So the fact that it's cash and carry is great. One of the stores in Florida is actually tracking their repeat sales. They have 80% repeat sales right now. So in other words, the business card is kind of what brings people through the door. As you can see in this picture, the van, BizCards in 1 hour or less. The van is like a billboard for the business. That's parked out in the parking lot, and that brings people through the door. But once they get through the door, they see that word wall with all of the offerings, and that's what creates the repeat business and the recurring business. This is a passive ownership opportunity. Some of these franchises you get into, you've got to be in that business running. You can hire a manager, and a manager can easily run this business. This is a flexible business. You know, don't need to be tied to it. We'll get into the hours of it in a minute. But one of the, you know, me coming from, I have a restaurant background, and managing a perishable inventory in a restaurant is very, very complicated. And this is just an easy, low inventory. There's literally a shelf in the back office. And very, very simple, and you don't have to worry about spoilage, you don't have to worry about waste, you don't have to worry about health department issues or anything like that. Very, very simple business to run. So with that said, okay, so, you know, I want to talk about, you know, even further. You know, we talked about some of the criteria, but the reasons to invest in a BizCard. Well, how much does it cost to get into it? $109,000 turnkey can get you into a BizCard Xpress, and that actually includes some working capital in there. It's a very, very simple business. You only need 2 people to run this. Once you get to a certain sales volume, you'll need to, you know, hire a 3rd person, and your sales go up, you'll hire a 4th person. But to start, you only need 2 people. It's a fun business to be in. You know, when I went around to the stores and talking to the employees, they love what they're doing. It's really, truly a really enjoyable experience. They're not, you know, cleaning bathrooms and mopping floors in a restaurant or working over a hot stove. They really, really love what they do. And this is, you know, like I said, a very simple operation. I mean, once you learn, and we'll get into the training in a minute, once you learn the software and you've got the customer service down, this is not a complicated business. And the inventory, the cost of goods are very low, which creates you know, very high margins for this business. So I don't know of another brick and mortar opportunity that you can get into for $109,000 and that has all of these criteria of all these benefits to it. This is a Monday through Friday 9 to 5 business. This is not weekends. You actually have time to be with your family and pursue your hobbies and your interests and not be working these, you know, 12, 16 hours, 7-day-a-week type of businesses, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, very, very reasonable hours. And you do not have to be in an A location. As far as paying rent, you know, that rent is one of the biggest costs, you know, when you own a business, and it's one of those things you have to be very, very careful about. Well, because you don't have to be in a grocery store anchored shopping center, you can go into a little strip center because that van is parked out there, and as long as that van is visible, that's what's drawing people into your store and creating the foot traffic. So the A locations are not necessary. So the rents are lower than what you would see, you know, in another type of brick and mortar opportunity. Lee has been absolutely phenomenal with the guidance and the support that he's given to the people who have signed on and franchise owners, existing owners that have, you know, been a part of the system for the last 3 years. Job satisfaction. Oh my gosh, I went around and talking to the employees. This is retail arts and crafts. They are literally playing all day long. They're designing, they're creating, and they're playing. The 3 corporate stores in Florida have had 0 employee turnover in the last 3 years. which is just tremendous, unheard of. And so it really is a great, fun place to work. I mentioned earlier how the sales have grown year over year in a really distressed economy. So you've got a business here that's a service-based business, that's a fun business to work in, that's absolutely unique. I mean, there is no other franchise out there that is both printing and signs. You've got your printing franchises, you've got your sign franchises. Well, what Lee has done is he's combined the two into one, and not only that, but that has created a model that provides that same-day service. There is nobody out there doing this. So you talk about a true niche opportunity. This is it. You've got your pizza, I mean, how many pizza places are in your town? How many burger places are in your town? How many tax places? How many insurance places? How many real estate offices? I mean, multiples of all of those businesses. There is nobody in your town that is doing same-day signs, printing, business cards, 1 hour or less, promotional items, and truly the one-stop shop. So, I mean, this is truly a special opportunity. And the fact that this is a turnkey program, when we say turnkey, I mean, we're talking you get everything delivered to your store, and your store gets set up and put together, and it is like no other. And you can see in this picture the stores are bright and colorful, and the production takes place right there behind the front counter, so the customers can actually see what's going on. But Lee and his team will provide help with the site selection. There is a book that will outline and detail every single step of the build-out process. The equipment and inventory is one phone call, one order, delivered right to you. Then you go down and you spend 2 weeks training in Florida, followed by 3 to 5 days of support back at your store after you open. The marketing programs being put together right now are off the charts, and you get support for the whole term of the franchise. It's a 15-year franchise agreement, and with very attractive renewable terms, and the support that you get from these guys is just wonderful. Some of the nicest people that I've ever worked with in franchising. Okay, so as you see here, there are pictures of 4 different storefronts. Every location is unique. Every location is going to be different. I mean, that's just the fact of life. But what these guys have done with their branding and with their logo is that with the store lettering across the windows is they've created a very uniform look across the brand, emphasizing the name and the same-day signs and printing. In that lower right-hand shot is a picture of the exterior sign on one of the stores, the Sanford store down in Florida, and it's a killer sign. I mean, it rocks. It's a beautiful, beautiful sign. But these guys have worked hard to make sure that all the stores kind of convey the same message. Okay, so with that said, just talking about the training, I mentioned 2 weeks down in Florida. So when you go down to Florida, you're going to learn how to work the point-of-sale system. You're going to learn how to work on the software. Now, they've put together a tremendous program. The software has so much untapped potential to it. Again, this is a very, very simple business, and they've adopted some software into this model that is easily trained. You do not need any special kind of background in order to learn this business. If you know how to work a computer, you can basically learn everything that you need to learn as far as the computer goes. You'll learn about the marketing programs, how to run all of the equipment, how to manage that inventory, how to put together an order when it's time to reorder supplies. And then the critical piece to this really is the customer service. The customer service is just, it's in the printing industry today, it's very difficult to get good customer service. But that is what is the critical piece here, is the superior customer service. Of course, financially you've got to meet the requirements, and we'll get into that in a second, in order to qualify to be a potential owner of a BizCard Xpress. But the customer service, I mean, this is a people business. And when you can deliver product with this quality and this speed, along with a smile and a good personality, and you're just out there aiming to please, and you're handing somebody their car magnets and their yard signs and their business cards for their business, and they're so happy. I saw one of the managers down in Florida get goosebumps on his arm because the customer was so thrilled. So that's the kind of business this is, where it's a people relating to people kind of business and providing that amazing service. So really just knowing Microsoft Windows and really and a willingness to learn the system and just having a good personality is what's needed. And those are the qualifications. I'm going to get into some of those numbers here. Single unit, a single franchise unit, the franchise fee is $39,000. You want to have a minimum net worth of $150,000 with the minimum cash available liquid of $70,000. So the whole investment, you can get into this for $109 turnkey. The royalty 7%. There's an advertising fee. They reserve the right to collect it, although they actually have no plans to do that. It's 2%, but it's not being collected and likely never will be. We've put together a tremendous third-party financing program with an unsecured business line of credit where you can get up to $150,000 for the first 12 to 18 months with 0 to 3% interest. It jacks up a little bit after that, but it allows you to establish some of your business credit, and it's an excellent way to go to get involved in the business. Now, on the top of the screen under the franchise fee, you'll notice the second is $29 and the third is $19. What that means is that if you want to buy more than one unit at a time, and they have to kind of all be purchased at one time, although you have 2 years to open up 3 units. But say you want to buy just 2. Well, you would pay $39,000 for the first franchise fee, and then you'd get a $10,000 discount and only pay $29,000 for the second. But what we've been seeing and selling are 3-packs, and that's where the first franchise fee is $39, the second is $29, and then the third and each one after that is $19. Now they have to all be purchased, like I said, at the same time. You've got 6 months to get the first store open, another 9 months to get the second store open, and then another 9 months for the third store. So in 2 years, you can basically it's buy 2 get 1 free. I mean, it's not exactly, but it's close to it, and have 3 of these things open in 2 years. Very, very simple business to open. We're talking paint and carpeting, and then the equipment comes in the order. This is not a complicated build-out. I mean, when you think about the cost to open up a restaurant or the cost to open up any kind of business, I mean, it can be costly. But if you go into a vanilla shell situation and the ceiling's intact and you just really have to paint walls and put down carpet, the build-out expense is very, very little. And when your build-out is little and your rent is low and your profit margins are high, there's a very, very fast return on your investment here. This is the financial model for a BizCard is the strongest financial model that I've ever seen in franchising. BizCard Xpress is also developing through what we call master franchising. Master franchising is where you own the rights to a territory, and when you own those rights, your job as the master is then to develop that territory, to sell BizCard Xpresses in that territory. For each one that you sell, you share in the franchise fee, and then once those stores get up and going, if you can go back to the master slide, Phil, once those stores get up and open, then you share in the royalties. You actually get 3% of the sales of each store that's opened up in your market. The return on investment with a master opportunity is absolutely off the charts. And the territory fees to get involved are not what you think they'd be. I mean, they range anywhere from $145 up to $277. Those territory fees include a pilot location. So in other words, when we looked at the franchise fee of $39,000 for a single, that's included in. So if you got say your territory is $145, that includes the franchise fee for your pilot location. So now all you've got is your paint and your carpet and your equipment. And you're up and going in business. You've got a showroom to sell from, and you're off and running. So the master franchising is just an absolutely brilliant way for a company to grow and develop. BizCard Xpress has partnered up with FG360, formerly Franchise Growth Systems. FG360 is basically BizCard Express's outsourced sales department, and I work with FG360, and they are a phenomenal organization, the largest in the country, and the experts at taking franchises and developing them through master franchising. FG360 is connected to a broker community of 4,800 brokers. Now, we rolled this out nationally. We launched on April 18th. We have sold 9 master territories since April 18th. That's unheard of. That is off the charts. Franchise Growth has been doing this, for at least 10 years. And out of the gate, this is the strongest thing. And I got to tell you, the people that are getting involved in the master opportunities are other franchise brokers. We've only, out of those 9 territories, only 1 so far has been purchased by somebody that's not a franchise broker, and that's a very strong testament because the franchise brokers get the inside scoop on these brands. They know things that the typical buyer doesn't know. They're able to really, dive deeper into the model initially, and once they realize what this is all about, that's who we've been selling to. I mean, it's unbelievable. So it's a really strong testament to the strength of the brand, the marketing, the team, the model, the vision of where this company is going. And so we've kind of, a little bit about me, I've actually personally partnered with somebody. His name is Dennis Stuber. We partnered on the master rights to Colorado. So we own the Colorado territory. We've sold a 3-pack here in Colorado. We have another 3-pack that has been to Discovery Day, fell in love with the brand. He's going through his financing right now, and he's engaged a franchise attorney and likely signing within the next 2 or 3 weeks. So that'll be 6 sold here in Colorado in 3 months, plus the pilot location. We're off to a very strong start here in Colorado. So I've kind of, really, when you talk about, walking the walk and talking the talk, in all my years of franchising, guys, this has just been off the charts, the strongest franchise opportunity I've ever seen. I welcome anybody's contact to discuss this more, to get that FDD in your hands, and really to get you down to Discovery Day. I mean, that's where you're going to walk into these stores and your eyes will just light up, and you'll see the operation and the simplicity of it. I mean, it is just so streamlined, and it is suiting and filling the needs of every single small business owner that there is. I am part of a B&I networking group here in Colorado. I've also been attending Chamber of Commerce events. Our pilot store is the construction's finished. We're waiting on the equipment. I head down to Florida for training actually this Sunday. And as soon as we get back, we're going to open up and get ready to roll. While I've been out networking and kind of pre-selling this, people's eyes, these business owners' eyes light up when I tell them same-day signs and printing, business cards in 1 hour or less, and promotional items. The first thing is, when do you open? Oh my God, I just ordered my business cards. I've had this nightmare online trying to order them, and then the typesetting was wrong, the color was wrong, they got charged for shipping and handling, it was the slow boat from China, it was this nightmare of an experience. People cannot wait until I get the store open. So contact anybody at Franchise Growth, FG360. Go to BizCardXpress.com. It's Express without the E, and log in onto their website and see what this brand is all about. So look forward to sharing this with as many of you as possible. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kim, and thank you, Lee. This is a phenomenal brand, and now's the time to jump on board. Thank you again, and best of luck.